Hello, this is Exile Pansy, and I am RGC GOAT. I'm here to talk of my addiction to the white powder. At its full the name Mr. Nobody is not to say that I'm a nobody. On the contrary, I know fully who I'm in Christ, and who I'm as an African American man. The name is an acknowledgement of the fact that in God's kingdom I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody that can save anybody. Without Jesus in my life, I'm nobody. My first album, Who I Be, was recorded on my own at what was then my church home, New Praise Baptist Church, near Dallas, Texas. The quality is not as good as I would have liked it to be, but it is from my heart. 3 years later, my second album is all about His grace and mercy, which has been sufficient for me during the dark times. I was born and raised in Queens, New York during the late 1960s and 1970s. My parents belonged to the Nation of Islam, and I was raised as a Muslim. I was educated in the tenets, practices, and history of the Nation of Islam. When I was 14 years old, my parents moved to Houston, Texas, and shortly afterwards got divorced. I began a long path of rebellion, and got involved with gangs and drugs. After a time in the military, I moved back to Houston, and fell back into that same destructive lifestyle. In 1991, I was arrested for robbery, and sentenced to 8 years in prison. During my time in prison, I rededicated myself to the doctrines of Orthodox Islam. I became the imam over my unit, and several other prison units. But even with all the knowledge I had no power over my addictions. In 1998, after serving 7 years, I was released from prison, and after being clean through that time, my addiction to crack cocaine still had a hold on my life. Eventually, through a series of events, I ended up in Arlington, Texas, strung out and hopeless. It was at that time when I heard about Victory Outreach in Dallas. I didn't know then, but God was leading me to a place of healing, deliverance, and restoration. On December 31, 2000, I walked the 30 miles from Arlington to Dallas, looking for help to end my addiction. What I found was Jesus Christ, who touched me and changed my life. He saved me and delivered me from my addiction. In response to the wonderful grace the Lord gave me, Anointed Entertainment was founded in 2001 as a means to reach other people who are lost and hurting just as I once was. The Lord has been faithful. He has helped restore my relationship with my oldest son, as well as my parents and siblings. The miracles of God did not stop there. He blessed me to find and marry a beautiful woman, and have 3 beautiful children. The devil was bent on destroying that and almost succeeded, yet because of his mercy and grace and the prayers of my wife and others at Fellowship Missionary Church, the enemy was defeated. Since moving to Indiana, I have been able to work in youth ministry with teenagers and young adults in my church and community, to provide a safe place for them to come and have fun. I'm currently working as a DJ on international internet radio station, Remedy.fm. I'm known as the hip-hop ambassador, and I work to bring positive energy and street cred with a flair of biblical wisdom to my shows every Thursday night and Sunday afternoon. Along with working to grow the label Anointed Entertainment, I'm continuing to work to be the bridge for the youth and young adults in this culture. I was recently able to travel to the Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa with a group from my church in support of the peace process and humanitarian efforts in this war-torn region. In Africa, I was able to see firsthand the roots of hip-hop and the need to rescue this culture from the hands of those who seek to use it to destroy, exploit, and misuse its ability to move the crowd.